Just gonna dual stream it then, you know? Mic check. Can I get a mic check? Need a better
I want to know everybody's predictions for the State of the Union
I
address
need a better
tonight. I
setup.
predict he's going to say Obama 8 times. He's
Oh,
going to mention Biden 22 times. He is going to talk shit about the Supreme Court while the Supreme Court is
facts,
sitting right
facts,
there.
facts.
And he will mention that our country is the hottest it's ever been. Probably, let's say, 8 times. So that's my predictions. I want to know what yours are. Leave them right here.
I think he gonna only mention Obama 3 times today because he gonna try to keep people's minds off of that video that he just had to apologize. Well, not really apologize, but I think he only gonna mention Obama 3 times, but I think he gonna mention Biden like 40 times today. No lie. This is sad that we even like this is even a real thing. That's wild. Like we really sitting here discussing like this not the president of the United States, man. We took a hard fall when we elected this clown. I could tell you that, man. We took a hard fall. Shit should be embarrassing, but I love how we just making fun of it, making light out of it. It just goes to show how resilient the American people are. That's why I still, to be honest, that's why I still have faith in the outcome because I believe in the people, and that's facts. You gotta believe in the people. You know what, though? Anne Marie, welcome in, welcome back. Welcome in, everybody. I'm gearing up to give my I'm gearing up to give my State of the Union address. I'm about to give my State of the Union address, you know. And I'm dual streaming by the way, so if I start looking around all crazy, it's just I'm just checking. I'm getting ready to give my State of the Union. The State of the Union, in my opinion, is dangerously bleak. That's the state. That's it. Really, end of address. You know, end of speech. All you really got to do is say that is dangerously bleak, but I'm optimistic about the future, and then that's it. And then if I was the president right now, I would walk out on the stage and be like, "All right, the situation is dangerously bleak, but I'm optimistic about the future," and then I would just walk right off the stage. If you want a real transparent president, that's exactly how the State of the Union would look. You know, that's how the State of the Union would look. It would be a president walking out, getting behind the podium, clearing his throat, and being like, look, the situation is dangerously bleak, but I'm optimistic about the future. And then you just walk off and then exit stage left and just leave it at that. You know? If you're just coming in though, we getting ready for the People's State of the Union. If you are here to watch Donald Trump lie, then you're in the wrong place. And I will only be playing the audio here. I meant to put a little note of that on the bottom that this will be audio only. If you subscribe to my Tubes of You channel, you'll be able to get video and audio. Parker, welcome in, welcome in. So over here, it will be audio only. I'll be interjecting with my opinion here and there. But if you go to Tubes of You, Archie Tech on Tubes of You as well, and you guys can check out the video and the audio. I think I'll have to stop it every so often just for like copyright reasons or whatever. But so yeah, if you're here to see Donald Trump's lie, you came to the wrong place. I won't be playing any of that. I don't want to hear none of that. I guess I will check in with that, you know, every once in a while. But I'm really just focused on the people's State of the Union. I want to see what their plans are, if they have any ideas, if they're gonna, strategize or what they think about the current state of things. Man, this has been a rough year of the Trump administration. This has been a really rough year. So we'll see, we'll see, we'll see. I guess, guys, what I will do now is I got a microphone right here too. Y'all didn't even know that. I've never seen that before. I'm professional. I'm very professional. We will cut to Midas Touch. Sadate. Sadate. So I'm starting up the live now, guys. Um, it didn't start as of yet, but Michael Popak is giving an urgent legal update, and we will be continuing. And the People's State of the Union is set to start at 8 o'clock, and they are on the National Mall, so this should be interesting. It's a virtual experience.
Trampled, violating her castle keep, her castle, in violation of the Fourth Amendment. Testify about it. But the Ryan,
thank you guys for tapping the screen.
The Ryan whistleblower testimony today. He also said that training had been effectively cut in half, and that there was memos to that effect, but that they had been locked away and they haven't been produced to the committee. It's a problem. And this is going to hopefully lead others besides just Democrats to call for ICE reform.
Thank you, Parker.
I mean, you've got
yes,
a very distracted
please,
administration. We'll come up today during the State of the Union. But what administration have you ever seen that's been embroiled in more sex abuse or discrimination scandals than the one at present? Okay. Well, I guess when you have a judge sex abuser as your president, he's setting the tone is set from the top. Yeah. And so Kristi Noem is allegedly distracted because she's playing footsie with Corey Lewandowski, who got thrown out of the first Trump administration, wasn't allowed to go to the White House because a Republican donor's wife claimed that he preyed on her and sexually assaulted her. And
Ezra, thank you for sending a daily.
And now apparently behind closed doors.
I'm gearing up to watch the People's State of the Union, and you guys can tap in with me as well. Please continue to tap the screen. We have another about 16 or 17 minutes before the actual People's State of the Union starts, and they have some good people. They have some really good people. Chris Murphy will be there. A lot of people will be there, and Tina Smith will be there. So I'm excited for it. I hope you guys are excited for it as well. Senator Ed Markey will be there. Senator Jeff Merkley will be there. Senator Chris Van Hollen will be there. Yasemin Ansari will be there. Becca Balint, Greg Kasar, Veronica Escobar, Jim Himes will be there. Sarah Jacobs will be there. Pramila Jayapal will be there. I'm super excited to see her. John Larson will be there, who's my representative. So he'll be there. Sydney Camlager Dove will be there. Shelly Pengree will be there. Emily Randall, Mary Gay Scanlon will be there. I was just in her office. Delia Ramirez will be there. Bonnie Watson Coleman will be there. And it's hosted by Katie Phang and Joyanne Reid. So it should be interesting. So guys, buckle up. Let's get ready to enjoy the people's truth. And Um, let's also before we start the people's State of the Union, I would like to play a clip from the I've Had It podcast with Jen Welch and Chris, Senator Chris Murphy.
Like that's Beethoven building a ballroom, right? Those are probably the three things that he spends 75% of his day on. Conspiracy theories relative to the election, covering up the Epstein scandal, and building the ballroom. And I wouldn't be surprised if he spends some time talking about one, two, or three of those things tonight.
And what are your predictions? The Supreme Court's going to be there. They just gave him a big L on his tariffs. He's wound up like a cheap clock over that, saying that the Supreme Court justices are cynicism, I think, is what we need right now, because we have to be clear-eyed about who they are and who we're resisting. And you're exactly right. That's exactly what they're going to do. They're going to, this was, okay, we're going to be normal here, and then they're going to fuck us. You're exactly right.
One for you, one for you. And in the end, like, they got elevated to the court because they're in with the Trump crowd. And Trump really does believe that if he marginalizes,
right, they wouldn't let you within 400 feet of that ballroom.
Oh, he's been right in terms of how that's impacted everybody from Mike Johnson to John Thune, and he's probably right about that when it comes to the Supreme Court. They're politicians. I mean, Gorsuch, Coney Barrett, they got to the court because they played the game, and they're still playing the game. And right now, Trump runs the game when it comes to the American right. I'm just not counting on any of them being heroes.
I completely agree with you. We have to come to the terms with that. I think if we ever get power again, we're going to have to term limits on justices. We're going to have to reform the Supreme Court. There needs to be an accountability oversight board. I mean, Clarence Thomas, his wife was involved in the coup. He has no business ruling on cases that have to do with January 6th. And I also think, and I want to get your opinion on this, the president is running a pardon racket right now. You pay $1 million and you get pardoned. Don't you think we need to do away with the presidential pardons?
Yeah, I do. I haven't sort of given a ton of thought to this yet, but that seems sort of patently obvious at this point.
So that's Jennifer Welch talking to Senator Chris Murphy. Two things that she brought forth that are really good ideas is term limits on the Supreme Court. Put a 1 in the chat if you agree with term limits on the Supreme Court. I think there should be term limits on the Supreme Court. But shout out to Rudy, what was her name? Ruth Bader Ginsburg. I had a moment. Sorry, y'all. Shout out to Ruth Bader Ginsburg, but there should be term limits on the Supreme Court. Thank you, Freedom. Thank you. W for term limits. There should be term limits. And also get rid of the presidential pardon. That's just a recipe for disaster. And Senator Chris Murphy said that he, never thought about it before. That's because before you didn't have to think about it, Even though Bill Clinton did pardon some pretty bad dudes, I'm not gonna lie. So did Obama, to be fair. I think they've all pardoned some pretty bad dudes, but yeah, but they, it's hard to say if they was getting paid to do it. One thing we know for sure is that Trump is getting paid to do it. So, yeah, I think that is something that we definitely should look into. That's a win. If we can get rid of presidential pardons entirely, that's a win. It should be a vote, or maybe like the Supreme Court should be the only people to pardon people since they're the only, they're judges, right? The president not every president has a damn law degree, especially not this president. He don't know the law, so he shouldn't be able to pardon nobody. I would definitely get rid of the. I would definitely, absolutely get rid of presidential pardons. I think they all should have term limits, though. I do. I think they all should have term limits. Not the State of the Union. Wayne, I'll be broadcasting the People's State of the Union. Here you'll have audio only here. Yeah, that's a good idea, Kedra, for sure, for sure, for sure. Let's listen to a little bit more as we get ready. We 10 minutes away from the People's State of the Union, so let's listen to a little bit more of this and get with the program.
We're at 36. You can't win the
It
United
is
States
36.
You
New
can't
Washington
vote.
Post. Washington Post poll came out yesterday, and it's at 36.
Is it 36? Yeah, I mean that is the number at which, like, Democrats running for the Senate are winning Iowa and Alaska and Texas, and so we got to keep talking about corruption. As you know, I probably talk about it more than any of my colleagues. So I'm gonna actually go down the floor in the next few weeks and give a long speech.
That's facts.
Just going through the TikTok of what's happened in just the last few.
Thank you, Wayne. Thank you. I appreciate that.
Just because the American public didn't respond to that narrative right off the bat doesn't mean that the cumulative impact of the corruption isn't going to start to change the way that they think about it.
Yeah, I just think the Oval Office it's operating as a crime syndicate. I think that he is operating using the federal government, all of our hard work, all of our 250 years, all of our good faith, our imperfect shit. He is using it to enrich himself and his sons, Dumb and Dumber, right in front of our face.
She called him. She called his sons Dumb and Dumber. I got no argument with that. Oh man! All right, it should be starting up. Let's see. We got Michael Popak on the line. I wonder if they'll be live streaming this from. I just realized that. Okay. It looked like they are going to be live streaming it. If not, though, for any reason, you know what? They got a State of the Swamp too. Let's listen to this. This is from Defiance, guys. I was watching this a little bit earlier. This is from Defiance. The Portland Frogs delivered the Constitution. Delivered the Constitution. You got the Portland Frogs in here partying, delivering the State of the Swamp, a night of defiance. So let's tune into this a little bit too. Make sure they get some love, right? Let me make sure I like this.
We aren't deterred, and we won't stop as long as these threats persist. Just yesterday, we launched our latest initiative to expose Donald Trump's crypto corruption.
Woo. Yeah, you got the Portland Frogs. There's a ton of them. They in there partying it up. It's a night of defiance.
Get away with it. Our democracy.
W the Frogs, for real. W the Portland Frogs.
Look around this room. Look at what we've been able to accomplish together in just the past year. Inflatable frogs and inflatable lawyers.
Inflatable frogs for the win.
It goes on, and I'm so proud to be here with each and every one of you. Thank you, friends.
Yeah, so the Portland Frog Brigade went to go deliver some constitutions. Man, I swear, they look like they having the time of their life. They partying it up. Everybody, look, there's really no need to pretend that Donald Trump got a lot going on. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's no need to tune in to hear what he's going to say.
Tonight, there's going to be a lot of talk about strength.
I should say Donald Trump don't have a lot of positive things going on. He got a lot going on, but none of it is good.
But I'm here to say as someone who spent years enforcing the laws of this country, there is nothing strong about abandoning the rule of law. Because the rule of law is not just a set of rules, it is a moral promise. And here's the part that often gets lost. The rule of law only survives if ordinary people have moral courage. Not dramatic courage, not movie scene courage, the everyday kind of courage. The courage to say, this is not right.
Bro, the economy not good. 7 companies making a lot of money, getting a lot of investments because of AI and data centers. I don't mean the economy is doing good. I mean that those 7 companies that's holding up the entire economy is doing good.
Tonight, the root of moral courage is empathy. Do you know what Elon Musk said? He said, the problem is there is too much empathy.
Right, you ain't got no damn money.
I say there is not enough. Empathy is what stops us from treating people as enemies instead of neighbors. Empathy is what stops the law from becoming a weapon. Empathy is what reminds us that power exists to protect the vulnerable, not to punish them. And let me let you in on a secret. You know who knows this better than anyone? Authoritarians.
Right. She up there committing. This lady Asha is up here committing thought crimes right now. Yeah, I know, right, Parker? Bro, just tap.
Tell us to fear one another. They tell us some people don't belong. They tell us that cruelty is strength. But cruelty is not strength. Cruelty is what happens when empathy disappears, and when empathy disappears, the rule of law is next. I've seen this up close. The most dangerous moments are not when laws are broken loudly. It's when they're bent quietly, justified politely, and obeyed without question. History teaches us again and again, the greatest harms are not carried out by monsters, they are carried out by regular people who convince themselves they have no choice, that it's not their responsibility, that someone else will speak up. Moral courage is refusing that lie. It's choosing empathy when obedience would be easier. It's choosing principle when silence would be safer.
Facts. She cooking right now. I can't lie. She cooking. She was up there committing thought crimes, guys. She was up there committing thought crimes. All right, let's see if we can find the Portland Frogs having the ball. The Portland Frogs, that's where it's at. Right now, that's where it's at. It's with the Portland. The energy is with the Portland Frogs. The energy is with the Portland Frogs. But let's see if we can see what's up with this People's State of the Union. That was the state of the swamp, everybody. That was the state of the swamp. We got Midas Touch and Move On presenting the People's State of the Union that should be starting any minute now. We have 36,000 people on Tubes of You alone in the waiting room. This is probably going to get a lot more attention than whatever the hell Donald Trump is over there doing. I should give my own state of, you know what? I'm going to give my State of the Union after. I'm going to give my State of the Union. Because I know the state. If I was and power, my State of the Union would look like this. I would just walk out, get behind the podium, be like, the situation is dangerously bleak, but I'm optimistic for the future. And then I would just walk off the stage. Yeah, shout out to Midas Touch for doing this and move on as well. This definitely was a good idea. It was very well planned, very well put together. Um, it's being reported that a lot of the survivors of Epstein are going to be in attendance. So a lot of the senators that won't be there, they either gave their seats or gave their +1 to some of the Epstein survivors. So that's going to be the only thing is I will really be infuriated if he says something or makes a smart remark to disrespect them while they're there. You know what I'm saying? Like that would just, I think, send me like that would really make me upset. And he has the, I'm upset enough just thinking that that is a possibility. You know what I mean? Like I'm mad enough that he thinking that we have a president that would do something like that. You know, like just that alone, I think does it right. But if we got to sit through that, man, you know, I would just like really really be very upset. I really would. But just the fact alone that we have a president where we don't know whether he will or not, I think is enough to like just all Americans should be infuriated by that. You know, just the fact that he might do something like that should tell you all you need to know about Donald Trump and who Donald Trump is, like as a person and the type of character that he has or lack thereof, right? Or lack thereof. So, um, it looks like they are going to be starting pretty soon. The chat is lit. We all in the waiting room. Everything about it is lit. I'm gonna go full screen in a second. Should probably do that now. Unnecessary. So yeah, so a lot. So some of Epstein survivors, some of the most vocal, will be in attendance, and I think that that is awesome. I went to Congress and let some of the staffers that were working know to tell to some of the senators and representatives that if they were going to be attending the State of the Union address, um, that they should be disruptive, so that the people know that we have some opposition, that we have Democrats in there with some backbone, and I think it'll light a fire under the resistance. And also, I think that they shouldn't go, right? Because we have a healthy alternative with the People's State of the Union being presented by Move On and Midas Touch. So that's a much better situation than the State of the Union address, which he's just going to be using as a dog and pony show to make it seem like he has a lot more support than he does. He got the hockey players coming there not to celebrate their win, not to celebrate their gold medal win at the Olympics, but to make it seem like they're supporting him. I forgot who I said heard say that earlier today. Um, but I was like, that's right on. That's very true, man. He's not having them there to celebrate their win on behalf of America. He's having them there so that it seems like that they all celebrate him. So I'm glad that the women's hockey team decided not to even go. Yeah, it's just a prop. It's like with everything and every person. Like this dude has he has I don't think he has not even a little bit of humanity in him. I don't. I don't think that he sees people as people. I think he sees all people as objects, as just an ends to as just as a means to an end. We've seen like how he treated Marjorie Taylor Greene as soon as he had no use for her any longer, and as soon as she disagreed with him about one thing. Well, it was a big thing. It was the Epstein files, but she didn't follow orders exactly, and he just completely put her off this side. But this is starting now, so let's listen in.
Of Move On. Move On is one of the largest progressive advocacy organizations in the country. We're a force of millions with members in every congressional district in America. And on behalf of our members and our co-hosts, the Midas Touch Network, it is my privilege to welcome you to the People's State of the Union. Some of you may know that giving a State of the Union address, or at least a report, is part of the job of the president. It's constitutionally required.
They should have let me go give a speech. I'm right down the street.
Trump is following the law tonight. So why are we boycotting? Why are we boycotting the State of the Union? We're boycotting because we know that Donald Trump's State of the Union will bear no resemblance to what's actually happening in this country today. He will lie, distort, and ignore the real stories. He's not going to talk about the killings of innocent people. He's not going to talk about the thousands of people who are afraid every day because of ICE roaming their streets. He's not going to talk about the victims of Jeffrey Epstein. And he will not talk about the millions of people who've lost their health care on his watch. But Move On members, the millions of people who've been protesting at No King's protests, the American people, we know the true state of our union. We've seen it and we're living it.
Look like this is outside. I should have just went.
We have asked our leaders this last year, don't treat this like business as usual. Fight for us. Folks, tonight, we're coming out swinging. And we're making history with the largest organized boycott of any State of the Union ever. Behind me on this stage are members of Congress and their guests who have all personally experienced the harms of the Trump administration. They represent millions more. They represent all of us. I want to personally thank our members of Congress here tonight for your act of defiance.
65% of creative professionals are using AI to enhance their workflow. Let's make you one of them. Meet Kip.
And I want to thank our special guests who you're going to hear from tonight for your courage. You represent the best of America, and you make us all want to be brave. This moment is only possible because of people's bravery. The first boycott of the State of the Union was conducted by the founders of the Congressional Black Caucus during the Nixon administration. We honor their example. We honor the millions of patriots who've turned out
right there, make it, huh?
Across this country. And we honor every person who's showed up, who's risked something, who's cared for a neighbor, even when it was safer to do nothing. That courage led the way to this moment, but we have to make sure that the road doesn't stop here. We need you, everybody joining us here on the Capitol Mall tonight, and everybody watching online. Come to the March 28th No Kings protest and stand up for this country. Before I introduce,
it's all right. It's all right.
Give a special thanks to all of the people behind the scenes who helped to make tonight happen. Move On staff, the staff who serve our congressional representatives and senators here tonight, our partners. Thank you so much. This is no small task to put on a historic event to fight for our country. Thank you. And now I'd like to introduce you to our hosts, independent journalists Joy Reid and Katie Phang. And while they come to the stage, I want to thank you for being here. I want to thank you for being brave. And I want to thank you for being a part of building the America we can all be proud of. Thank you.
Yeah, he deserved it. Here comes Katie Phang and Joy Reid.
Well, Hello there.
Hello, everybody.
Good evening, everyone. Are you guys excited to be here?
Let's hear it.
And not in there?
That's right.
Come on, I am Joy Reid, host of The Joy Reid Show.
And I'm Katie Phang, host of the Katie Phang News Channel.
And we are both exes of the artist formerly known as MSNBC. We are so excited to be here. Please give one more round of applause to these
members of Congress.
Yes.
Let's hear it.
They had the courage to not be here. So, Katie, the reason that I am so excited to be here is that, as we just heard from the wonderful folks at Move On and Midas Touch, please give them a round of applause.
Please.
It takes courage to stand out.
It does. And look, if you turn around and you look amongst us, it's not just the people that are here. It's hundreds of thousands, if not millions of people in the United States and across the world that are defending democracy, but they need the courage and the bravery of our members of Congress and our electeds to make sure that democracy is defended.
Indeed. And so tonight, we are not going to hear a false state of the union. We are going to hear the true state of our union from the people who are being impacted by the policies that are taking place at the hands of someone who has demonstrated no love for the Constitution, for the truth, or for the care and concern of the American people. It's much more important to hear what people are truly facing and going through. That's what you're going to hear tonight.
The American people deserve the truth. They do not need more lies from this regime. So tonight, you are going to hear people that have been impacted directly by the bullshit of this administration.
Amen. And because I'm also a church girl.
Sorry, Joy, for my language.
Oh, no. I'm a cussing Christian, sis. It's all good. I'm a cousin Christian, but we want to start off this night by doing something that I think is so important, Katie.
Please.
And that is reclaiming the Christian voice from white Christian nationalism.
That's right.
Which not only threatens our freedom, but also threatens a very important faith throughout this world. Christianity is not what you have been sold by Project 2025. So right now, to do our invocation, meaning we're going to invoke the spirit of freedom, liberty, and justice. Please put your hands together for the Reverend Paul Brandeis Rauschenbusch.
Thank you, Joy and Katie. Hello, everybody. Hello, America. Let me start by saying that my soul is so glad to be here with the People's State of the Union.
Facts. Cussing Christians, that was funny.
And as a Baptist minister with good news. We, the people, have the power. Is that good news? All across America, people of diverse faiths and beliefs are showing up, are speaking out, and are proving that love for our neighbors and commitment to our democracy will prevail against the cruelty, immorality, and authoritarianism of this administration. Let me speak plainly as an American and as a Baptist minister. The Trump administration is the most hostile to religious freedom in generations. They attack any religious leader or community not in lockstep with their political agenda. The White House, the Pentagon, the Department of Justice, and ICE have weaponized religion for their white Christian nationalist crusade, which attempts to define who is a true American, conveniently made in their own image, and relegate all the rest of us to second-class status. While President Lincoln famously prayed to be on God's side, Trump instead blasphemously boasts.
Shout out to the pastor, but let's see. I'm real quick. I'm gonna bounce to the State of the Union. I want to see something real quick. Shout out to the pastor though. And yeah, I mean, why do we allow the Christian nationalists, the white Christian nationalists, to claim that? You know what I'm saying? Like we allow them to claim that. That's not their thing. They completely perverted it and made it seem like it's something that it's not. They turned it into something very evil with no they turned like how did you turn the Christian faith into something that has no empathy or no compassion for other humans? Like that's wild to me. Under the guise of like Jesus, which is even that's disrespectful as hell to Jesus, but Trump is late as usual. We knew Trump was gonna be late though. Trump always late. Yeah, but they allowed the Christians to take they allowed the Christians to take away the best parts of Christianity and substitute it with hate. And we kind of just sat back and allowed that to happen. That's wild. I don't want to like I'm blaming us for it, you know. Not that we sat back and allowed for it to happen, but it happened right under our nose though. It happened right under our nose. Not that we could have maybe we couldn't have done anything to stop it anyway though. It's just surprising that we hear. To me, it's just surprising that we hear. It was like, damn, Christianity used to be a religion of love, and then all of a sudden, it got turned into something completely different. This this lady that's speaking is the founder of Seneca Project, Tara Satmeyer, and she's speaking facts right now because that is true. We got the power. We just got to say no. They can't do anything without our consent. Right. That's the thing, right? Like you can't. They work for us. As long as like you have you on the side of the righteous and you have a good idea, as long as like there's a collective voice, there's no way that they can say no. If you have an idea, right, or you think that things should be going a certain way, and you can get enough people to rally behind that idea or opinion or cause or movement, it's no way that they can tell us no. It's like, no, we said so. the problem is like speaking with that collective voice. I think that's the only issue that we have right now. It's like people are speaking from different factions, and a lot of it gets lost in and it gets lost behind the noise of just the amount of chaos that this administration is creating. And I think that we left kind of bickering with each other about a couple different things or whatever. But if we ever like combine all of our voices and speak with the same voice and say this is exactly what we want, um, you know, it is no way that they can say no. It's like either this or no, or you have to leave, you have to resign, or you can get primary or voted out. Those are the only options. It's like you're our mouthpiece. You do what we're saying or nothing. Like if we're all saying, like the majority of Democrats right now, voters are saying we don't want foreign influence in our government. So no more taking APAC money. The candidate doesn't get to decide, well, I can still take APAC money. It's like, no, the people said it. Don't do that. We have to make demands and then stand on those demands. So if we collectively say we don't want you taking APAC money and a candidate decides I'm going to take APAC money anyway, then as a collective we need to get together and make sure that that person doesn't get voted in. And it's that simple. um if there's something that we want being done, like for example not funding ICE, right? And Democrats in office are going to say, well, we're going to fund ICE anyway. It's like, no, we have to be loud and speak as one and say, no, we told you guys don't fund ICE. We want ICE abolished. If we're saying we want ICE abolished and you're saying you want to reform ICE and give them more money for training, clearly there's a disconnect, you know, because all of the people that I'm seeing, they're saying abolish ICE. They're not saying reform and train them. They're saying just abolish it. If you're saying destroy that and come back with something different, that's another thing too. But that's not reforming and giving ICE more money to be trained. It's saying throw that in the garbage and come back with something completely different, because I understand that there are some states, especially border states, that are still going to be very passionate about enforcing border control. So that's my favorite senator too. I might be a little biased, but I think Chris Murphy is the best senator though. I ain't gonna lie. That's my opinion. She's clearly she from Connecticut. This speaker is from clearly from Connecticut, but I don't think you got to be from Connecticut to admit Chris Murphy is the best senator. I don't know. Just my opinion. I don't know.
Society these days. Because of this, advocacy in Connecticut has shifted. Organization on the ground like ours are spending more time on know your rights training policies are shifted quickly, and we must help families with rapid response needs. Preparing families with documentation for when their family members get kidnapped, and working closely with legal and health partners to support families struggling after Trump's healthcare cuts. But as hard as we try, we cannot replace health insurance. That our elderly, our children, our people with disability can no longer access. We cannot guarantee safety or peace of mind for the worker who keep our communities running every day. This administration needs to stop separating families.
Woo! Yeah, stop
Mothers,
separating families,
kids,
man.
and our future generation who will become our caretaker, our lawyers, our teachers, and our politicians. Our community member needs safety and peace of mind to work. Leadership matters at the federal levels. We need real leaders. We need a stable federal support for integration and mental and medical health services. And we need policies rooted in dignity and education. As families can focus on building our shared community and future. When families feel secure, they build. When mothers feel safe, they lead. When children feel stable, they dream. And when we protect our people, we strengthen the entire nation. This is not politics. This is humanity.
That's the point I think a lot of people missing right now. Like this to me, as somebody who has been paying attention to politics for a really long time, I will say that. But this has nothing to do with politics, though. I think it's really just about like she said, it's basically about humanity. But
I want to do sort of one housekeeping note. Attention, all MAGA trolls. And with apologies to the pastor who gave the invocation, your bullshit is not welcome here. And to paraphrase one of my favorite actors in the world, Robert De Niro, I'm going to slightly paraphrase him. Fuck y'all. We're here to hear the truth and to hear from impacted people, not to see or hear from you. So go.
it needed to be said. I feel like it needed to be said. You know, it really did, man. I feel the same way. You know.
Now, coming to the stage is one of the reasons that we are finally getting some of those files released. Everybody say, release the files.
Release the files.
Release the files. Coming to the stage now is Pennsylvania's Fighting 12. Representative Summer Lee. She is one of the main reasons that we're getting some of those files. She's going to be reading a story from Monica Ruiz, the executive director of Casa San Jose, waiting to keep families together and reform our unjust immigration system.
I think I like Summer Lee. I've heard a lot about Summer Lee, but I don't think I've ever actually paid much attention to her myself. What's wild though is like that's what we say here. Like to hear Joy Reid saying like what we say here in these lives is like we don't want them around. Like don't come in here with your trolling. You're not welcome here. We don't even want you here, right? I think everybody has had it up to here with them. Like we went from trying to like talk some sense into them to just being like, all right, man, just stay over there with that. Nobody wants that energy around right now.
He's going to tell a familiar story tonight that the economy is booming,
that our communities are safer, and that America is stronger than it's ever been, all because of him. But we know the truth. We're living the truth. We know the fear that our families are facing of being hunted down by ICE. We know our neighbors are working 2 or 3 jobs to make ends meet, that their health care has been gutted and their federal jobs have been eliminated by the thousands. We know our education systems and unions are being targeted because they threaten authoritarian power. And they want us fighting each other so we don't pay attention to what they're stealing from us. And I mean all of us, Democrats and Republicans and independents, young folks and old folks and Black folks, whether you're in a red or a blue state, whether you're in rural towns or factory communities, because corruption doesn't check your voter registration before it robs you. While they're terrorizing immigrant communities right now, they're cutting health care. They're gutting worker protection. They're union busting. They're handing tax breaks to billionaires and sending the bill to the rest of us. That's the con. That's the scam. And working people are done falling for it.
Facts.
Tonight, I was supposed to be joined by my good friend and neighbor, Monica Ruiz. Monica is a mother, a community organizer, and a powerful advocate for immigrants' rights. She was ready to bring that fight from Pittsburgh to DC to remind folks who and what she has been fighting for relentlessly. But right now, Monica's family is in crisis as it's being targeted by ICE. Her son-in-law, Victor, was followed by agents unprompted after he dropped his brother off at work. They pulled him over without cause. There was no traffic violation, no expired tag, just a man who looked brown enough to be dragged to one of the worst detention centers in the country. Meanwhile, just the other day, Monica's daughter, Adriana, just gave birth to a baby girl who is yet to meet her father because he's been locked up by this lawless agency. Victor has been in the country for 18 years. 18 years of working to build a life for himself, his loved ones, and now his new family. That is the real state of our union, where families are being torn apart and traumatized, where corporations get more say in our democracy than the people we elect, where the government would rather protect powerful people and the Epstein files than the women and the girls who were sexually abused. We live in a country where we have one reality for everyday people and another for the rich and the well-connected and the well-protected. We have to change that. We have to meet the moment with bold policies that level the playing field and deliver justice.
Hey guys, I'm gonna reset on TikTok.
You have
to
your name. That's why earlier today
I'm still on the
I
other
announced
app.
that
So I'm
I'll be
streaming
introducing
right now.
articles
I'm gonna
of
reset on
impeachment
this app.
against
I'll be
Pam
right back.
Bondi.
But I'm staying up
Trump's
on
DOJ continues to obstruct justice and refusing to comply with our subpoena to release the full, unredacted Epstein files. Bondi must be held accountable for that. And let's not forget, it was Trump who said it first, release the files. So we'll keep that call up no matter what. Because where I come from in Western Pennsylvania, we know what it means to be abandoned by politicians who make big promises and lie and deliver nothing. We know what it's like when the factories close, when the hospitals cut services, when the schools can't afford to teach, when the corporations are given permission to poison our water, our air, and our communities without consequences. And we know that no matter what language you speak, what zip code you live in, we all feel that pain, and we are all being squeezed by the same rigged system. So when Trump points the fingers at immigrants, our trans kids, our protesters, our journalists, understand what he's doing. He's trying to make sure we never point the finger where it belongs, at the billionaires and the corporations looting our economy, robbing our people, and buying our democracy right from under us. But here's the truth that they're afraid of. Working people are waking up. Across this country, folks are organizing labor and their money. They're refusing to be silent in the face of authoritarianism. But we know fear is their weapon, but solidarity is our power. So tonight, while Trump paints his fantasy version of America, we're grounded in America, in reality, and we're building something better. In America, where we have Medicare for all, every job that pays a living wage, where no one fears being ripped away from their family. That is the America we're fighting for. And later tonight, I'll be delivering the Working Families Party response to the State of the Union, laying out exactly what it will take to build an economy
and a democracy that works for all of us, not just the working few. So I'm asking you to stay engaged, stay fired up, and tune in tonight, because this is about building a movement that is big enough to defeat authoritarianism, to stand up to corporate power, and rooted in a simple belief that when working people come together across race, across geography, and across whatever lines they try to divide us by, we are unstoppable. So all power to the people, and thank you all for being with us tonight.
That's what's up. That's what's up. That was fire. It don't look like it's a lot of people there. It don't sound like it's a lot of people there. Probably though because it's so late on a work night. But there's over 100,000 people in the chat. The chat is going crazy right now, and that's just this one live. It's on multiple streams as well. So like this is a
Steve
good turnout.
Gomez. Steve is a father of 3 from
My
Gilbert,
love,
Arizona. For
hey.
the last 5 years, Steve and his family have relied on the Affordable Care Act marketplace for their insurance.
Thank you for sending your
But let me
daddy.
be clear. Because of Republicans and
Parker,
Donald
thank
Trump's
you for coming
big
back, Parker.
bullshit bill, now Steve has to decide what he's going to cut to be able to afford health care for his child. Senator Ruben Gallego.
Listen, you know how important this is? I'm from Arizona. This is cold. But let's be clear what's happening there. They want to call that the State of the Union. It is the state of denial. Because what's going to happen under that Capitol is a bunch of lies. Lies that Donald Trump, the Republicans, are going to tell us about how great this country is doing right now. But what is true?
If I knew this was outside, I would have went there. I would have just went there. It's cold outside, but I would have been right there. I thought that it was gonna be like, I don't know, somewhere off limits.
How did it start? As soon as they got in there, what did they do? They went and they cut Medicaid and they cut food stamps. Millions of Americans right now are without health care. The poorest of our country are trying to figure out how to make ends meet and how to pay for that grocery bill because they needed an extra $1 billion for their billionaire friends. And when they had whatever money they had left over, then they used it to hire the most amount of ICE agents, to have the massive amount of deportations we have now that are also targeting U.S. citizens, racial profiling Americans, arresting Latino veterans and telling them you are not part of this country and making them prove that they're Americans when nobody asked to prove our citizenship when they were sending us to war for this country. Sicker, poorer, and more secure. Less secure. Let me tell you what else. Every day, every American is trying to figure out how to buy food, how to pay rent, how to pay that mortgage, how to get a car, and this president has done nothing to help that. $1,000 per average every American has to pay for his tax increases. And now the corporations are going to get all their money back. Is every American going to get a refund for the $1,000 mistake that this president did? No. Not only that, he's going to double down. He's going to say, screw you, Supreme Court. I want to do 15% tax. And guess what? All of you Americans are going to pay for it. And now we have to figure out again, how are we going to pay for our rent? How are we going to pay for electricity? How are we going to actually pay for everyday food? We are poorer because of Donald Trump and the Republicans. Now let's talk about security. Let's talk about security. In 2 weeks, 2 Americans were gunned down by federal masked agents in front of our eyes, in front of your eyes, and then they try to lie to you. You saw it with your own eyes. 2 Americans expressing their First Amendment rights, and they said to you that they deserve to die. 2 Americans. 2,000 federal agents, masked federal agents, suppressing citizens in Minnesota, acting as if they're a military occupation. You do not military occupy anything in any part of this country. Those are U.S. citizens. They deserve the right to free speech.
Thank
They
you for
deserve the
sharing
right
out
to
the
say
live,
there's
my
something
love.
wrong in my community, and they deserve the right to protect themselves and say, I will not stand for this. I will evoke my First Amendment rights and get out of my city. Let's be clear. No matter what they say, they are going to lie to you. And I'm not saying this just because I'm just another politician. I'm telling you because I have heard it. We talked about Steve Gomez. Steve Gomez wanted to do everything he could not to have to accept subsidies for his kids. He wants to provide. He wants to continue to have his personal business. He wants to be a responsible citizen. Now he has to make that decision. He has to make a decision right now. Will I continue to pay for this very expensive health care, or will I gamble? Will I pay for my health care, or will I pay the mortgage? That decision was forced upon him by an uncaring Republican administration, by an uncaring Trump, who only wants to find more and more money to give more and more tax cuts to the richest of the country that do not need it right now.
Oh, guys, this is Ruben Gallego, senator from Arizona. In case you guys didn't know,
It's under that capital right now. We can make this country again the best country in the world, where everyone is richer, where everyone is more secure, and we are proud of everyday work that we can say that America is getting better, will be better, and will one day be the best. Thank you so much. Stay in the fight.
that's what's up, Senator Ruben Gallego. My boy was dehydrated though. You could tell. I could always tell when somebody dehydrated because I be dehydrated all the time. I could always tell. Somebody got to get the senator some water, but I know it's cold out there though.
Remember, well, coming to the stage is the man who had the courage, the cojones to go and find him at CCOT. And, oh, look at that. My fans are back. What I always say is, you know who I am, and I don't know who you are. That means you're a fan, you're a fan, you're a fan, you're a fan. Go ahead and keep on standing me. Keep on standing me, because I don't know who the hell you are, but you know me. Hallelujah. Keep on being my fan. Coming to the stage is the great Chris Van Hollen, Senator Chris Van Hollen of the great state of Maryland. He'll be joined by Jenna Norton, a public health scientist focused on health equity and data standards to improve health outcomes in kidney and urologic diseases. She was a lead organizer of the Bethesda Declaration, a whistleblower letter to the NIH director and members of Congress detailing this harm. In November 2025, she was placed on retaliatory administrative leave. So you're going to want to give her a major round of applause. Senator Van Hollen.
Hello, American patriots all. We are gathered here in this place because we love our country. And we know that our democracy is not on automatic pilot. And we know that we, the people, must mobilize to save it. Are you out here to save our democracy? And you're going to hear from a moment from my guest, who is a research scientist at NIH, who was able to stand up and speak truth to power. And you're going to hear her tonight.
It's crazy. People troll like in real life. This is like a TikTok live. You got the trolls coming in unwelcome. It looked like the cops hit the block button on them. You could kind of see it in the background a little bit. I know over on TT y'all only got the audio, so I'm trying to give y'all a visual. So Joyanne Reid was talking, and then she's, when she started saying that, she was talking to people off to the side that was I guess heckling her. I didn't hear what they said, but when she was saying like you know who I am, but I don't know who you are, she was talking to a group of people. Now you see police cars behind the stage, so I'm assuming that maybe the Capitol Police or maybe even the Metro Police having those people removed. But it's like what she was saying and the first time she was speaking, when she was like, we don't really need MAGA here, you know what I mean? So that's what's up.
Survivors and the American people, when are they going to release the files? A president who wants to erase our history. Are we going to let him erase America's history? A president who promised that on day one, he would bring down the costs. But instead, ever since he was sworn in, we've seen prices and costs go up on the American people, even as he refuses to extend tax cuts, tax credits that help people afford their health care. We have a president who seeks not to build a more perfect union, but one who wants to tear it down. And a president who said he would stop wars, but instead is responsible for war crimes and, as we speak, is threatening more wars. We need to stop him. We are gathered here because we know that we cannot pretend that any of this is normal, and that we will not and must not pretend that this.
Platypus, this is Senator Chris Van Hollen from Maryland.
We cannot take our country down that road. And what Donald Trump wants to do is what we know all bullies do, all dictators do. He wants to intimidate all of us. He wants us to sit obediently and quietly while he lies and lies and lies to the American people. In other words, he wants us to shut up and sit down. So I have a question for all of you patriots.
He needs to shut up and sit down. Trump, not Senator Van Hollen. Trump needs to shut up and sit down.
Hell no. We're not going to stand down. We're going to stand up just like the people in Minneapolis who have taken to the streets, who are blowing the whistle to protect their neighbors and to protect our Constitution, and who are getting in the way of the president's efforts to tear down our country. Now, look, we know Donald Trump is unpopular, and we know he knows he's unpopular. So tonight,
the Canada-Russia final showcasing the two most talked about prospects.
He really wants to help working Americans. He's going to pretend that he does want to bring down those prices. And we know that that is not what he wants, because just a few weeks ago, when we talked about the affordability crisis, he said that was a big hoax. Do you remember? He said that was a hoax. Well, it's real. And we all need to make sure that we put forward ideas to deal with it. So in my view, it's not enough that we hold the line against Donald Trump. We must do. But let's face it, we also need to show the American people that we are willing to stand up and fight against big corporate special interests to the benefit of all of the American people. Are we going to do that together? Because we need to make sure that we unrig a tax code that right now favors people who make money off of money over people who earn a check through their hard work. Are we going to change that?
We
need to make sure that all of you don't pay higher electric bills, so data centers that are owned by the richest corporations on the planet can make more money. Are we going to make sure that your electricity bills don't go up for them? And we need to make sure that big oil and the biggest polluters don't pass on the check to all of us, because polluters should pay. And we need to make sure that big tech doesn't write all the rules, that we write the rules, and we make sure that AI doesn't strip Americans of the dignity of work. Are we going to do that? And we're going to make sure they can't snuff out the light on the Statue of Liberty. Are we right about that, my fellow Americans? So look, we have a lot of work to do. And I'm often asked by people, when's the cavalry coming? Where are they? And my message to you, and you know this because you're here, is you are the cavalry. You are we the people. I know all of you remember that right after he was sworn in, Donald Trump began his unlawful assault on hardworking federal employees who work every day to deliver services to the American people. You remember he brought in Elon Musk. who took out his chainsaw not to make government more efficient, but to rig the government in favor of billionaires like him. One of the people who stood up and spoke out was Dr. Jenna Norton, a career public health researcher at the National Institutes of Health. Dr. Norton blew the whistle on the outrageous actions that threaten the health and well-being of the American people. And she has been retaliated against because she was willing to stand up and tell the truth. But here's what we all know. When the history of this moment is written, the politicians and the law firms and the universities and the corporations who appease the bullies will be exposed as the cowards they are. And the people who are standing up to save our democracy, like all of you gathered here today, and people like Dr. Norton, they will be remembered as those who preserved our Constitution and our democracy. So, ladies and gentlemen, please give a warm welcome to Dr. Jenna Norton.
This Dr. Jenna Norton is the senator's guest, so let's hear what she's talking about. Shout out to the doctors.
Honored to be here today, speaking up with so many other brave people in my personal capacity. As Senator Van Hollen noted, in November of 2025, I was placed on administrative leave from the job that I loved at the National Institutes of Health because I blew the whistle on the wrongdoing that I saw there. The Trump administration put research participants and public health at risk by a... Is that better?
It's a little bit better.
So,
Her microphone
thank you,
is
Senator
really
Van
low.
Hollen, and thank you for letting me know that you couldn't hear me. I am very honored to be here today with all of the brave folks who have been speaking up, and I am here in my personal capacity. So as Senator Van Hollen noted, I was placed on administrative leave in November of last year because I spoke up about the wrongdoing that I was seeing in a job that I used to love at the National Institutes of Health until it was fundamentally changed. The Trump administration put research participants and public health at risk when they abruptly terminated NIH studies. By halting these studies, they also wasted taxpayer resources. When you halt a study, a 5-year study, a $5 million study, 4 years in, you don't save $1 million, you waste $4 million. And they continue to this day to censor research.
Donald Trump stopped her work at the National Institute of Health, man. It's messed up.
Hispanic people, immigrants, LGBTQ plus people, all Americans who deserve to have their unique research needs addressed. They are creating a science that serves the few instead of a science that serves all of us. When this began, I knew that speaking up was my right, but I also believed that it was my duty. I first spoke up inside the National Institutes of Health, but when my concerns were not addressed by leadership at NIH, I felt that I had no choice but to join with hundreds of my colleagues at NIH to take those concerns to the public. Tonight, you are hearing from those most affected by the Trump administration. But civil servants like me are not the only ones affected. The lawlessness at the National Institutes of Health affects all of us. Last year, the Trump administration funded 24% fewer new research studies with about the same amount of money. That means fewer future cures for all of us. The Trump administration also funded 20% fewer early career researchers, creating a brain drain that will damage our economy and end American leadership in science exploration as our best and our brightest seek positions abroad. The Trump administration tried to silence us by putting me and other federal employees who have spoken up on retaliatory administrative leave. They do not want you to know how they are destroying your government, our government. But we will not stop speaking up. Let's get loud together.
Turn up the volume. That's what my
Our
Donnie said.
country,
We gotta
and
turn
when
up
we
the
come
volume.
together, we are powerful. Thank you.
That's exactly what we need to be hearing tonight. Coming up next, we have a congressman from the state of Texas who's the chair of the Democratic Congressional Progressive Caucus. These days, people look at the word progressive and they think it means something, but it's not. What it is every basic human thing that we all deserve.
She said Texas, right? I'm waiting for two people, Chris Murphy and Maxwell Frost. Those are the two people that I'm looking forward to.
Greg Kassar from the state of Texas is here with a woman by the name of Jill Cordick. Jill is a retiree from last year. Her premiums used to be $75 a month, courtesy of the enhanced premium tax credits. But again, the Republicans and Donald Trump with the big bullshit bill didn't care about those enhanced tax credits and said, we're not giving it to Americans anymore. So now Jill's premiums have increased tenfold this year. So now it costs $800 a month for $9,600 a year for health care. Please welcome Congressman Greg Kassar and Jill Cordick.
Buenas noches, Washington, D.C. How are we doing tonight?
Buenas noches.
I'm not in the Capitol building tonight because I have a pretty good idea of what's going to happen. For an hour or two or three or four, a man who's made $4 billion off of being president is going to lecture you, the American people, about how good you have it. A man who is building himself a golden ballroom is going to tell you that if you're...
I'm about to go check right now. Let's see if he started going up yet. And if he has, let's see if he drooling on this. So it don't look like he started talking yet. Nah. His kid's there. Man, that's crazy. Imagine that being your dad, yeah. Melania said hi to everybody except Ivana. That's messed up. If that was my mom, I'd be mad as hell. Like, you're just gonna walk out, get a standing ovation, and say hi to everybody except me? That's crazy. I would have been mad as hell. Melania moves slow as hell. Like, she moved like a sloth. Why does she walk so slow? I can't watch this. This is crazy. The State of the Union address look weird, man. It look weird. I ain't gonna say what it looked like. It looked like a rally. That's all I'm gonna say is it looked like a rally. That's it. It looked so like, I don't know. It looked like a rally. Y'all know what I'm saying. Facts. You do. What happened? I think we lost it. Think. Oh, they having some technical difficulties. All right, let's go back to the State of the Union until hopefully Midas touch and move on can get the signal back. We lost signal to he was cooking too. Greg Kasar was cooking, but they lost signal. Let's go back. Donald Trump was walking out, or let me see if maybe before that. Oh man. Let's see what Mehdi Hassan said. This Mehdi Hassan at the State of the Swamp event with the Portland Frogs. I wouldn't mind voting for Mehdi Hassan for president. Swear he not an American citizen though. But Parker, it's crazy you said that, Parker. I didn't even think of that. As Donald Trump is walking out, the people's State of the Union lose signal as Donald Trump is walking out. You know what I'm saying? Like that. Maybe coincidence, maybe not. I don't know, but that's wild though. That's a wild coincidence. That is a wild coincidence. Yeah, if I could just critique real quick this the People's State of the Union. So far, it hasn't been like it's been inspiring, and it's good to see that they did this, but there hasn't been like a fire. You know what I mean? Like nobody came to like really set it off. But it's still early. I mean, wow, it's been on for almost 2 hours, about an hour and a half, but it- I'm hoping to see somebody like really, you know, Trump people still walking out. Um, I think that if we do check in with the State of the Union address, I'll be watching it like through like a Brian Taylor Cohen or something like that. I'm not really interested in watching it through ABC. I would only watch it to see like reactions. You know what I mean? Or maybe the Bulwark. The Bulwark is a good network to check on it through them, but I'm not really. It's just because Donald Trump's so predictable, man. If you heard him talk once, you heard him talk 1,000 times. I know that's boring. It's just boring. I mean, this ain't no better. This boring too. But this is boring, powerful truth. Donald Trump is like boring lies and flat aggression. This maybe I spoke too soon. Maybe this exactly what is missing. Yeah, Parker, they need to start rapping or something or kick a freestyle. Somebody maybe have a little performance. Not I mean not like a huge stage like a Beyonce, bring a Beyonce out or something like that, but just a little somebody come out, maybe play a couple tunes on the guitar real quick. you know Something to get people alive, to get people going. I'm just saying that this kind of dry. But that's how politics is, though. Politics is dry, though. So I mean, I wasn't expecting like, you know, I don't, and maybe it's right that it should be so. Maybe it be boring, because it's serious business. It's not like they coming out here to like Erica Kirk to um sparkles and in the background and pyrotectonics or whatever they call it. It's not like they coming out the WWE theme song music. So yeah, yeah, like I'm not really tripping because I think it's important to pay attention to it and listen to what they're saying. It's boring. It's a drag though. It's a drag. It's a drag. I'm not gonna lie. But I don't know because you get some certain people out there that really get you fired up though. If you like a Mehdi Hassan, whenever he giving a speech, like you really feel it. Pause, bro. You really feel like he get people going. But then again, Mehdi Hassan, he not a politician either though. So that's probably why. Yeah, Senator Survivors, man, for real. Speak for yourself, Keith. I'm not. I'm not. The people got the power. That's what's up. That's what's up. Right on, right on. Facts, facts. No mass incarceration, man. Facts, 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 facts. Yeah, man, that's what they needed. They needed some Kelly Robinson. That's what they need. But to be fair, like I understand, like everybody can't be like that. Everybody can't be fired because they trying to represent America. They want to show you like every every type of they trying to touch every demographic. And I do too understand like my experiences. It take a lot to get me charged up. Man, I ain't gonna lie. So other people might feel charged up just watching this. A lot of people in the country. But but for me, I need like I gotta I might have to I gotta pause it every once in a while so I can hype myself up. You know what I'm saying? And we gonna get through it, y'all. But it's important stuff. I don't wanna downplay the importance of what they're doing right now because um just the act of doing it alone is showing Donald Trump that there's opposition and that there's an alternative and that we gonna rock with the alternative. Um I don't know how many people outside in the cold on a work night, but there is over 100,000 people in this live stream alone, and they're streaming from multiple platforms. So this is where the energy is, man. This is where the people are, and I see a lot of people actually out there right now. I didn't see this many people before, but listen to Katie Fang. See, even Katie Fang said it. She said, "We need a DJ. We need a DJ." Even Katie Fang knows. See, it's not it's not just me saying it. I ain't gonna lie, Senator Merkley from Oregon, he got a vibe. He kind of got a bro, kind of got a vibe. Oh man, I was about to say they lost the signal again. He remind me of my He remind me of my sixth period algebra teacher, Mr. Bialowicz. Can't be having secret police here, man. Yeah, you know what's wild? You could like really tell Republicans anything. Like you could tell them any like that. Yo, you could just be like, "Hey, man, we're gonna make it harder for everyone to vote, so that immigrants don't vote." And it's like a non-existent problem. Like there's just no evidence that undocumented migrants are voting at a large scale. Like it's just no evidence that like, no one's heard that before. It's not a real thing. But Republicans, you could just tell them that, and they get so charged up, like, no, we gotta stop the immigrant vote. They be ready to grab pitchforks and tiki torches for the littlest thing, and they don't even be true, and it's just so easily debunkable, and they just run with it. You know what I mean? Like they'll just run with it. Like I've heard so many people make that argument, especially since Donald Trump, told them that. It's really Donald Trump that really started telling them that when he lost. But even before that, like you would hear it here and there, and it was laughable. Like you would just laugh and be like, "Ah, get out of here," And you wouldn't hear it that much. But I've heard that argument before, right? Um, but now, like you see how dangerous it is, right? Because when you match legislation to the stupid ass thought, it starts to get dangerous. And now, like everybody might have to hassle in order to vote, and they clearly it's to it's to make it's to make it harder for certain people to vote, not everybody, certain people to vote, and that's clearly the thing. But you leave it to Republicans, and they like, do you want my illegal migrants voting? You want illegal migrants voting? It's like, what? It's not. That's not why they do you. But you could just tell them You could literally tell them anything, and they're just gonna run with it. Sad, really. It's really sad. Yeah, no, I know Trump spread the lie. Well, Trump spread it. His right wing influencers, they also spread it. I understand. I know where it's coming from, but it's just like it's such an easily fact checkable thing, and they never do that. They just believe whatever he tells them, right? And if you show them statistics, they don't believe the statistics. But if you show them statistics that Obama deported more people than Trump did, they believe those statistics. They're like, yeah, Obama deported more people than Trump did, but they want Trump to deport more people, but they say it like it's a bad thing when you say Obama deported more people. They're like, yeah, see, Obama deported more people than Trump, like it's a bad thing, but they want Trump to deport more people. Like, yo, they're so like you could just literally they have no like apps actual stance on anything. It's just whatever Trump said, you know. But anyway, I'll let this woman talk. This is the person that Senator Jeff Merkley, the last guy that was speaking. This is who he brought, Nafisa Faye. This is his guest. Shout out to Nafisa Faye. That's what's up. Yeah, I like this guy, man. Jeff, oh, you know why too? Probably because I was in his office Sunday too. He wasn't there though, so this is my first time ever seeing him. He wasn't there, but I talked to his staff. They were pretty cool.
That sweet little baby in his little blue hat being taken from school, Liam Conejo Ramos. That is the image right now that this regime will have to take into history. But the other image that will go into history is the resilience of Minneapolis, the resilience of the people of Minnesota, the resilience of Ilhan Omar facing somebody trying to rush her on stage and being ready to throw hands. Don't come for her if she has not called you. The resilience and the kindness, the interfaith, interracial kindness and resilience of Minneapolis, of Minnesota will live on into history. And that is a sign of great leadership and great community. So I am so pleased right now to bring you one of the great ladies of the state of Minnesota, their Senator Tina Smith. And she will be joined by Brenda Lewis, who is the superintendent of Fridley Public Schools. She's been working tirelessly to protect Fridley students and their families during the ongoing ICE search in Minnesota. Give them a Minnesota level round of applause.
Minnesota.
Good
I
evening,
say
everyone.
Minnesota.
Good
Minnesota.
evening. Thank you to Move On and to Midas Touch and everyone, but especially thank you to the activists and the organizers that are here today. This is what a pro-democracy movement looks like. Look around.
Facts. I was in her office too.
And
She wasn't there either.
back behind me here is the United States Capitol. And inside that Capitol, I gotta say, I'm so glad I am out here with all of you instead of inside that Capitol right now. Inside the Capitol, Donald Trump is lying about the state of this nation. He is using division to drive us apart, to make us think that we are not one nation, one community. And that is why we are all gathered here today, because we are against the chaos and the corruption that he is spouting back there in that most precious capital of ours. But tonight, we are outside, and I'm here to tell you, this feels like resistance weather to me.
This is no, that's Minnesota weather is what it is. That's not resistance weather. Resistance weather is in the summertime.
We're here to offer an alternative that is
It's
not
cold as
about
hell
sticking
outside.
up for the billionaires. It is about fighting for the working, the hard-working people in this country. And that is why I am so grateful to be here with my special guest today, Brenda Lewis. Give it up, Tal. Thank you, Brenda, for being here.
That's what's up, Brenda Lewis.
Brenda is an educator. She was the superintendent of the Fridley Public Schools. This is a district of about 2,800 students. It is very, very diverse. It's a suburb of Minneapolis and St. Paul. And when ICE came to Minnesota, Brenda sprang into action. I'm here to tell you folks, she is a badass.
That's what's up. See, that's the type of talk we need more of that talk.
Now you've
man.
seen.
They don't got to be
you've seen the
super
searing images
entertaining
of
and
what has
nothing. Like I
happened
understand that they
in my
just
state, in our country.
politicians.
People
They're
who
not
have been
entertainers,
arrested
but like
and
get us
detained
fired up.
and assaulted.
Get us fired up.
killing
Man.
Of Alex Preddy and Renee Good. You have seen the searing images of Liam Conejo Ramos and his dad ripped away from their home and sent off to Texas for no reason at all. But I'm here to tell you that what you see in the pictures is what's really happening is so much worse than that. Because once you get past the incredible documentation that is happening by these eyewitness accounts in small towns all across Minnesota, this same thing is happening. Restaurants and people have lost their livelihoods because of this secret police that has attacked our state. Families are torn apart and they will never be put back together again. The pain and the suffering and the damage is going to last for a very, very long time. And this is what Donald Trump and Kristi Noem are doing to us right now. But we have seen something else in Minnesota. When they brought guns, we had whistles. People came out in their neighborhood and they stood up for people that they didn't even know. They brought diapers and they helped get prescriptions to families. They gathered together just out of the pure love of their neighbors, even the neighbors that they did not know. And when ICE came and started circling around schools and terrorizing families, people like Brenda stood up and fought for their kids because she knew that her most important job was to keep those kiddos safe. And so I want you all to thank Brenda for everything that she has done. I want to invite her up to talk about what it has really been like in Minnesota. So Brenda,
That's what's up, Brenda. Shout out to Minnesota. All eyes on Minnesota, man. They did what they had to
this
do.
was happening with ICE.
Greg Bovino got out of there.
I first realized this in December when the temporary order was put through on our Somali families, and we were told, let's watch our attendance, and our attendance immediately dropped.
He did, Belinda?
And the day after the Renee Good murder.
That's what's up, Al Green. That is what's up, Al Green. Again, he always getting kicked out somewhere, man. That's what's up. Shout out to Al Green. Al Green. That's that Texas. He from Texas.
On a morning. I woke up.
Yeah, good trouble, man. That's good to know. I didn't even leave. No, I didn't even leave a note with him. I didn't even leave a note in his office. He was going to do that. He was planning on doing that.
Schools was trending really well in the media. That morning on patrol.
No, somebody did. No, somebody did go to his office and leave a paper, but he was going to do that anyway.
Up and down, right outside of one of our elementary schools. They were then in a roundabout preventing our children from crossing to come to
Somebody,
school.
somebody,
They were
what?
yelling and screaming
His
at our
wasn't on my
crossing
list,
guards.
but
Then our principal was trying to help and trying to keep our students safe. And 4 ICE agents posing as press with orange upper bicep bands were yelling and screaming at her and videoing
somebody,
her. Then a
somebody
mother
definitely
was
went there. It wasn't on my
was
my.
legally in the United States by
what's the-
2 vehicles full of ICE agents, and she had to pull into our school so that she wouldn't be hurt. A board member was followed by ICE agents with a 3-year-old in the back of her car. This is just a 10-minute period
one day.
on one morning at an elementary school welcome.
So think about that. Brenda and her educators should be figuring out how our children can be learning. And instead, they are pressed into this relentless effort to keep our children safe. But I want you to think as I wrap here about where the power is right now. The power is with people like Brenda.
Yeah, facts.
The power is with people like you and people like you all over this country. The power does not come from the United States Capitol. The power comes to the United States Capitol from all of you. And
Right.
that is the work that we have ahead of us. That is the work before us. So thank you all so very, very much for being here to talk about what the people want to see in this country right now. And it is not what Donald Trump is talking about right behind us. So thank you all so very, very much. Thank you.
W. Tina Peters, man. She the truth. That's what's up. That's exactly right. That's exactly right. I want to see. I'm interested to see what Al Green said. This Katie Phang. I could have
Love
went
you
here.
guys
I
too.
could have went. I didn't know.
Alrighty.
I didn't know that this was gonna
Love
be
you.
outside.
Okay. Get it. I don't know how to do this. So, not everybody gets to be from the amazing place called New Jersey. But they do have some pretty cool people like Congresswoman Bonnie Watson Coleman. You know what she just did? She just introduced legislation to stop the bullshit of immigration arrests while people are
Hedra, it
going
is
to
cold
court,
outside, but I would have went. Though.
right? Because it never was about getting the quote unquote illegal aliens. It was never about getting the quote unquote criminal element out. It was making sure that we
It's
got
cold
rid
and
of
it's
the people
not that
that
it's
didn't look like
cold
us.
so much as that it's
And
late.
that is what this
And it's gonna be
administration is
on
all
for a
about.
while.
So Congresswoman
I'm
Bonnie
too
Watson
old to
Coleman
be
says we're
outside
not
this
doing
week.
that anymore in our
I'm
courthouses.
too old for
She's
that.
joined today by Nedia Morse,
I
the
gotta be in
director
the
of
house
Make
by
the
a
Road
certain
New
time. I
Jersey,
gotta be
one
in
of the
the
most
bed by a certain
fantastic community organizations in the state of New Jersey that is focusing on our communities of color. Please welcome them to the stage now.
I'm a black woman. I'm here with an Egyptian Peruvian woman. We're America. We belong here. This is our country.
Right.
This is a government of, by, and for the people, and Minneapolis showed us what happens when the people say,
Hedra, I'm gonna be
no more.
40. I'm gonna be 40 in August.
I am here because I will not be
Belinda
there
said she already fell
listening
asleep
to
and woke back
lies.
up.
Lies
Yeah, I
about
know.
what he
I've been
thought he
sitting
did,
here now for 2
lies
hours
about what
now.
he's doing
My back
now,
hurt,
and
my
lies
arm
about what
hurt,
he's
my
going to
left
promise
shoulder
in the
hurt.
future. We're entitled to safety, security, jobs,
40, yeah.
housing,
I'm gonna
and
be 40 in
health care.
August.
And we demand that anybody that works for the United States government does so constitutionally and legally. So I got a special guest tonight for you because they're gearing up in New Jersey now. But New Jersey is gearing up for ICE. We want you to know that we're going to be ready when you come here. So you think you saw something in Minneapolis? You come to New Jersey. We may be small, but we're freaking mighty. I want to give Nettie an opportunity to talk to you about how we organize, get ready, and take care of one another. Give her a big round of applause so she's encouraged to come before you.
Thank you, Bonnie.
I'm going to ask if folks can repeat after me. I
am
am somebody,
somebody,
and I deserve
and I deserve
full equality
full equality
here and now.
here and now.
With your chest. I
I am
am somebody,
somebody,
and I deserve
and I deserve
full equality here and now.
here and right
First,
now.
thank you to Congresswoman for the invitation tonight. Thank you for your service, a powerful example of a woman grounded in her purpose. My name is Nadia Morsi, and I'm the director of Make the Road Action New Jersey. And I'm here tonight on behalf of our nearly 7,000 working class and immigrant members across the beautiful state of New Jersey. This administration is one of the most violent and dangerous this country has ever seen. It was the Sunday after the inauguration around 10 o'clock in the morning when we had begun to receive calls from members further down on South Broad Street in Elizabeth, New Jersey, that ICE was knocking doors and entering businesses. I remember when I got to South Broad, it was a ghost town. The bodega was closed. The T-Mobile was closed. The bakery was closed. The videos of what happened that morning started to circulate in WhatsApp chats and Facebook groups. I called the same members who had called me, who I knew lived near South Broad. And we came together and we split up to knock on doors with Know Your Rights materials and to invite community members to our centers. That's how you start. You just start. You set up a phone tree to check up on fellow Elizabeth members throughout the city, and we organized a town hall the following evening. More than 300 people attended with less than 20 hours notice. What we came to see, what we always come to learn, is that people are searching for community. And we kept that way, shocked but organizing in shock, reminding ourselves that our liberation is not found in any administration, but in our collective efforts. When the outcome of our fight has never been more important, I can say that the union is strong if we remain strong. Every day, I choose to organize, and every day, hundreds of thousands of people across America choose the same. And together, even in the midst of so much violence, we will win. Trump is making cuts to healthcare to funnel billions to ICE to build concentration camps in our backyards. They're using commercial warehouses that have been converted into concentration camps with floor maps that look like slave ships. Concentration camps where they're holding children and adults who have been kidnapped, citizen or not, for the crime of being Black or brown or poor or Palestinian. In Roxbury, New Jersey, in Social Circle, Georgia, in San Antonio, Texas, in Surprise, Arizona. All across the country, in all of our backyards, fascism is rampant. And we have to ask ourselves the question, who are the puppet masters? They are the billionaires standing behind Donald Trump, pulling the strings. And these billionaires, they have names. Peter Thiel, Alex Karp, Elon Musk, and many more. Corporations like Palantir are beta testing their mass surveillance systems on immigrants, and they are helping the administration compile data on U.S. residents across every government agency, including the IRS and law enforcement. They won't stop until they build an algorithmic surveillance where they profit on all of us. In the face of such blatant greed and hatred, the American people couldn't be more clear. We want an economy that delivers for all of us and a country where we protect our neighbors. From Dilley to Delaney, we are prepared to dismantle ICE. This is not the path we chose to take, but if the only way out is through, then the only way through is together, as one people, fighting for the ones we don't know yet. Presidents can come and go, but we are here to stay.
It was refreshing to hear somebody else talk about Peter Thiel and Palantir on such a big stage. I'm not gonna lie. Even though more and more people have been talking about him lately, he don't get the amount of hate that he like. Trump get a lot of hate. Peter Thiel deserves just as much of that energy, man, for real.
Let me get another round of applause for those queens. Deconstruct DHS. I think I could get down with that. If the funding runs out, I'm not sure it should come back. I realize Kash Patel needs to go to Italy on occasion for fun vacations to hang out with the hockey team on our dime. I realize that he likes to use the private jet and that deconstructing and defunding DHS would interrupt the fun that he's having on our dime. But I think it's worth it. Make him buy a regular ticket on an airline like the rest of us. Coming to the stage. Now, I want you all.
I'm glad Joy Reid did this, man.
Say, okay. Say, you said that. Say, you did that. All right. Okay. You said that. Oh, I know you didn't say that. The next person that I'm bringing to the stage made that kind of call and response normalized in Congress. The greatest hype woman any member ever had. The woman who's going to let you know when you said it and let you know when you failed to say it. The lady who is standing up for the Epstein survivors like nobody else. Coming to the stage from the great state of California. California's Fighting 37 Representative Sydney Kamlager Dove. Give her a round of applause.
She bring the energy, right? Though she do. She bring the energy.
Give it up for Joy Reid, y'all. My hype women, how are you all tonight? It is a little cold. I am from Chicago, but it's still cold. So I don't know about you, but my mother has always told me, don't let nobody come up in your house and disrespect you. Now, unfortunately, I share my house with Speaker Johnson. Exactly. And he's got somebody up in my house disrespecting all of us. So I decided that I would hang out with my people, with the people, with all of us, the people who have been in the streets day after day, demanding better from our government. But in my stead, I sent a survivor, Jenna Lisa Jones, who at the age of 14 endured something that no child should have to. And she sent some words for me to share with you. As a survivor of the abuse and exploitation connected to Jeffrey Epstein, this invitation means far more to me than simply attending a historic address. It represents recognition that survivors' voices matter, that our experiences are not invisible, and that our resilience deserves to be seen and acknowledged in the very spaces where our nation's future is shaped. Moments like this remind me that we are not alone, that our stories have meaning, and that there are leaders who are willing to stand.
East, nothing like it.
Sirens going by. They on their way to get out green. Cops on their way to get out green, y'all.
By the extraordinary courage that it takes as a survivor to show up and stand up and look your oppressor in the eye and say, I will not be silenced. But sadly, this is a kind of courage that our president doesn't have. So as Donald Trump delivers his address and sees Jenna Lisa and her fellow survivors in the audience, he will be reminded what true leadership looks like. And it is not measured by applause from sycophants. It is measured by whether or not you stand by your word to fight against injustice, or whether you want to shield the folks who should be held accountable. But enough about Trump. I'm so tired of talking about this small man who is not worth any of our time. Because this People's State of the Union is not about him. It's about us. And what is worth our time, our commitment, our work. And y'all, let me tell you, up until November and for the next couple of years, it will be a lot of work. But what is worth our time is the future that we want to build. Every single one of us wants an America as good as her promise. And each of our dreams are different. That's what makes diversity so amazing. But there are some fundamentals, y'all, that are just non-negotiable. We have to take on the corporations and the monopolies that are squeezing every dollar out of our pockets and making us poorer. We have got to lower the cost of healthcare and everyday necessities. Nobody should be forced to make a decision about if they're going to pay the rent or stay alive. We have got to make the dream of home ownership real. It is not if you try to dream and work to own a home that it costs you a future and limits your future instead of allowing you to build a future. And we have got to build an education system that opens the doors for all of our young people rather than shutting them down and burying them in student loan debt. And yes, we need an immigration system that lives up to the founding ideals of this country. Diversity is not the threat. It is the very source of who we are as a nation, y'all. And we have to empower our cities, our rural communities with the resources they need to solve 21st and 22nd century problems. And above all, we must, and if you don't know it by now, then you have not been paying attention, but we must save and protect and defend and make more righteous our democracy. Because without it, absolutely none of this is possible. This weekend, I was back home in California in my district, and I was talking to one of my constituents, May. And May said, I want to be able to trust my government again. I want elected officials who will be honest with me. I want to see courage. And real talk, y'all, we have a government that is working harder to harm us than help us. Real talk, we have a government right now where justice goes to the highest bidder and the lowest kneeler. And that is not what we signed up for, and that's not what we deserve. It is time. It is wait time. It is past time in Black History Month and every other month of the year, y'all. It is time for the moral goodness of this country to match our economic might. For our leaders to put people over profits, compassion over cruelty, and equity over evil. This is our country. This is our moment. And just like Jenna Lisa said, we will not be silenced.
Facts.
The People's State of the Union starts tonight.
Right.
And we're going to keep it going every day of the week through November and to the end of this man's term until we get the country that we deserve. Thank you so much.
I'm not going to lie. That was powerful. That was powerful. Sydney Kamlager Dove, that was powerful, man. She's a force.
Don't make me crip walk up in here because I'm from that generation. Coming to the stage.
And Joy about to start crip walking. That's wild.
Massachusetts. How many of y'all want to see the Green New
good,
Deal?
Man. I take back what I said earlier about it not being entertainment. This is good. This is good. They did good. They did good.
Deal. We like it. Coming to the stage right now is the champion of the Green New Deal, a man who has fought for justice, for equality, and for a country we can actually breathe in. Give it up for Senator Ed Markey. He is going to be reading a story from Gladys Vega, the president and CEO of La Colaborativa in Chelsea, Massachusetts, which has been providing critical resources and support to Chelsea and the greater Boston region since the year of our Lord 1990 by empowering Latino individuals and families, promoting educational opportunity, advocating for social justice, and fostering economic empowerment. Give it up for Senator Ed Markey.
Wow. Joy Reid, what a job she is doing tonight. Just absolutely incredible, Joy. Thank you. Thank you all for being out here this evening. Tonight, I am not in the U.S. Capitol for Donald Trump's State of the Union address. I am here with you at the...
I think we should go check on the State of the Union and see if you fell asleep standing up.
Moment of truth, a reckoning with reality, a commitment to the common good. But under Donald Trump...
All right, let's go check on the State of the Union. See if somebody threw a sneaker at him. 2 sneakers at him. He can't still be talking, right? See what Reese Waters talking about. Yo, C-SPAN dead wrong. They just had it on somebody that was in the audience sleeping for like 5 seconds. I swear. I swear I'm not lying. Like, the guy was sleeping. He clearly was just knocked out. And C-SPAN just left the camera on him for like 5 seconds straight. Like, yo.
Family homes.
Man. You know what this more boring than the other. They needed a Sydney Kamlager Dove. They needed a Joyanne Reid. That's what they needed. They needed somebody like that. This is not it.
Make that ban permanent because homes for people.
If you got like kids like 8 or young, like a 6-year-old, and they won't fall asleep, don't put cartoons on. Put this on. They'll go to sleep immediately. That's how you handle that. Old people and kids, they can't listen to it. No, don't play Donald Trump.
We're also
They're gonna
working
have
to make it
nightmares.
easier for Americans to save.
No, don't let the last thing they hear before they go to sleep Donald Trump was. They'll have nightmares.
Security and Medicare. They are not protecting it for our seniors. We will always protect Social Security, Medicare, Medicaid. Since I took office, the typical 401k balance is up by at least $30,000. That's a lot of money. We have millions and millions of people, because the stock market has done so well, setting all those records.
JD Vance got mad eyeliner on. He put on extra eyeliner for this.
Access to a retirement plan with matching.
Like his eyes always look a little dark, but he got like the wild shadow now, like the smoky gray. I think, I don't know what women call it, but whatever they call it, that's what he did with his eyes this time.
Our country.
He did it.
Access to the same type of retirement plan offered to every federal worker. We will match your contribution with up to $1,000 each year, as we ensure that all Americans can profit from a rising stock market. Let's also ensure that members of Congress cannot corruptly profit from using insider information.
Yeah, see, that's why I wouldn't be able to listen to this. I wouldn't be able to go in there. This dude just sold a meme coin, got money for his wife documentary, like all of this corruption. He's clearly giving people the heads up. Barron Trump made $1 billion off a move that you could just, it's so obvious that he's being corrupt, and he got the nerve to sit up there and talk about insider stock trading. JD Vance, Mike Johnson should get a room here for real. I can't imagine the amount of Johnson's grinding. Yeah, I know. It's grinder day. The smoky eye. Yeah, the smoky eye. He got the smoky eye, man.
I wasn't sure if anybody even on this side was going to applaud for that. I'm very impressed. Thank you. I'm very impressed. But when it comes to the corruption that is plundering, it's plundering America. There's been no more stunning example than Minnesota, where members of the Somali community have pillaged an estimated $19 billion from the American taxpayer. Oh, we have all the information. And in actuality, the number is much higher than that. And California, Massachusetts, Maine, and many other states are even worse. This is the kind of corruption that shreds the fabric of a nation, and we are working on it like you wouldn't believe. So tonight, although started 4 months ago, I am officially announcing the war on fraud to be led by our great Vice President, J.D. Vance.
Elon Omar there. I'm surprised Elon Omar there and not at the People's State of the Union. Why did she go there? Somebody just commented they eating the pets. I can't listen to too much of this. Let's go see what the people talking about. I can't do this, man. This dude is a liar, man. That really upsets me, man. Like, he just sitting up there lying. And like we were saying too, like you could just tell Republicans anything. Like you could literally, like he could be like, "Yep, we fighting corruption," and then you got MAGA running around here talking about, "See, guys, he just wants to fight corruption. He is the corruption, and we all know it. Like it's not no sense in even, you know." He out here selling Bibles, and they talking about corruption, and I'm good on that.
Know in this country that this progress has never come from silence. It has never come from surrender. It has never come from sitting on the sidelines. It comes because people get up and they fight and they win. So that is what tonight is all about. It has come from people, ordinary people, standing together and saying, enough to corruption, enough to cruelty, enough to policies that sacrifice the vulnerable for the powerful, because our power is not in the Oval Office. It is not a billionaire CEO's bank account. It is not a corporate boardroom. Our power is in the movement. It's on the streets of this country. It's our voices. It's our votes. It's our willingness to stand together.
To me, a lot of people, I think, is really obsessed with Trump. Even people that don't like him, there is, I ain't gonna say like TDS or Trump arrangements, not like that. But like a lot of people is obsessed with Donald Trump, man. It's wild to see like people start talking like him and trying to impersonate him. They start moving their hands like him, and I think some people don't even realize they doing it. But if you watch somebody long enough, even if you hate somebody, like hate is like it's like a degree away from love, and love is like a degree away from hate. I don't hate Donald Trump. I certainly don't like him. I don't hate. I'm just indifferent to him. You know? Like I really just don't care for that type. Like I don't care for his type. Like I know that type of person. You know what I mean? And I've never cared for that type of person. I didn't watch The Apprentice before. I didn't like him before he ran for president. You know what I mean? Not that I didn't like him or hated him. I just don't care for that type of person. That rich, smug, like everything that Donald Trump represents. I've just never cared for that type of person around me. Period. It's not that yeah, I dislike him a lot, but it's not that I hate him or nothing like that. I really just I don't want that type of energy. I don't imitate it. I don't try to replicate it. I confront it. It needs to be confronted. It needs to be addressed. But that's about it. As far as like I'm not obsessed with him where I want to watch everything that he does or everything that he says. Like I wasn't pushing for the release of the Epstein files because I thought it would take just him down and Trump down, or even if he not criminally implicated in that, I already know who he is. Like I don't really need the evidence. Like in my mind, like he's already done the worst. Like he's the worst possible person already. Um, so like to like I don't really need to watch the State of the Union address. If you've seen one of his speeches, you've literally seen them all. You know exactly what he's gonna say. You know exactly how he's gonna say it. You know he's gonna move his stupid ass hands, his little tiny hands. You know he's gonna get a round of applause from Republicans. And then he's gonna talk about how Biden messed everything up. He's gonna talk about Obama a few times, and like that's it. And he's gonna talk about like how great of a job he's doing, how he's the best president ever. And it's like, is all of it is none of it is true. And the only thing that is worth watching is so that you can know what the right wing influencers are going to be saying and what like the MAGA people are going to be saying. It like what they're going to take from it. I think is like the only reason why I will watch it is like, okay, what are they going to take? What are they going to try to come at us with or twist facts to represent their narrative? Like, what is their new narrative going to be? I think is really the only reason to even watch Donald Trump at this point.
Where's my check? I know. Where's my check? That's what the senator's doing. He's going to get us our money because otherwise we don't get shit. All righty. So there's a Shakespeare saying, it's a quote that I have in my social media profile. It says, though she may be little, she be fierce. And that's what we got with Congresswoman Becca Balint from the state of Vermont. She put Pamela Joe in her place and then some just a week ago. And tonight she's joined by a very special guest, Mohsin Madwadi. Now, Mohsin showed up for an immigration appointment, a citizenship appointment, and then was illegally detained for at least 2 weeks. Why? Because he dared to express a position that Donald Trump didn't like. And as we see our free speech, our journalists, our First Amendment under attack, the Trump administration is making one thing clear. It's only what he wants you to think and say, because everything else will result in you being arrested, thrown into detention. But what happens is the rule of law, when we've got judges and the rule of law doing what it's supposed to do, we have justice. Please welcome Congresswoman Becca Balint and Mohsin Madwadi.
I think like that Egyptian lady was saying, I think that it's more important to look at like the Peter Thiels, and they should just let Peter Thiel give the State of the Union address, or Elon Musk even let one of them give the State of the Union address. Trump is like one of the lamest people. Like I don't know Trump personally, but like that character, that type of personality It's just one of the lame, like those are like the lamest people I've ever come in contact with. I know people like that. I know people with that personality, with that character, that carry those same qualities. Maybe not as rich as him, for sure not as rich as him, but people that think like him, man, and they the lamest type of people, man. Dude is just lame. And it's worse for him because he all old and shit. It's like this shit is like that's
Now, I
wild.
know many people out here are feeling angry and you're feeling anxious and frustrated. I get it. This administration is trying to break us, but they can't, because, in the words of June Jordan, we are the ones we've been waiting for. We are the ones. We are the ones we've been waiting for that are going to change the course, are going to turn the tide on this dark.
I know, Kendra, that's wild. Like you don't hear nothing about that kid no more. Like when Trump first got elected, he was around, he was in the Oval Office, and all of a sudden he just disappeared.
Our hands. And it is our collective courage that is going to make the difference. So I wanted to be out here tonight with people who are forward looking, people who understand the stakes, and that we have to stand up for not just our individual rights, but for the rights of everyone across this country. And we must be the light for each other. Don't lose heart. I am in the belly of the beast every day in Congress, and I have not lost heart. I have not lost heart. They will not break us. They will not break us, because we understand that is our collective power. That is much more powerful than any intimidation that this administration will bring to bear. And I wanted to bring my friend Mosa Madawi with me today because he has a powerful story to tell,
especially now
about standing up,
out of here.
not just for his own First Amendment rights, but for all of us. So I'm going to turn the microphone over to Mohsen so he can tell you his story, and you will understand why he is an inspiration for so many people, not just back in Vermont, but across this country. Mohsen, thank you for coming tonight. Please tell your story.
Brothers and sisters, dear friends, my beloved community, it's an honor to be in union with you here. You, the American people, you are the people.
There's nothing in there.
It's also my honor as a Palestinian refugee, a descendant of the Nakba survivors, to stand here in solidarity with and to carry the torch for justice and for peace with Congresswoman Becca.
We got a little bit of action over there. All right, let me go check out the action. Let's go check out the action. I'm really not excited about I'm really not excited about this though, yeah. But oh, Hassan Piker. Oh no, that's not Hassan Piker. That's yeah, I feel like, thank you, Luna. Thank you. Just all you gotta do is behave, man. That's it. You know? I have to. I've been on my best behavior lately. Yeah, y'all, like I used to think it was like super important to like push back on Trump, try to like fact check everything that he was saying, and I don't think it's just like I don't know, man. It get old. It gets old. He gets old. It's tiring. It's exhausting. The lies, the bravado, the like all of it, man. It just gets so tiring. It's like, why am I spending so much time on Donald Trump when the people that he worked for, the billionaires, they don't even put a lot of, you know what I mean? Like they don't even respect him. I don't even think they respect him. and he's sundowning. He can't put together a complete sentence. I'm looking for Reese Waters. I don't want to go in through like the White House Live or um yeah, I'm looking for Reese Waters Live. Oh, here we go. Reese Waters. Here we go.
And the reason they don't want to do it, why would anybody not want voter ID? One reason, because they want to cheat. There's only one reason. They make up all excuses. They say it's racist. They come up with things you almost say, what imagination they have. They want to cheat. They have cheated, and their politics.
Luna need to start being nice to me. She being good now though, but she kept trying to.
And we're going to stop it. We have to stop it, John. And here is one more opportunity to show common sense in government. In the gallery tonight are Sage Blair and her mother, Michelle. In 2021, Sage was 14 when school officials in Virginia sought to socially transition her to a new gender, treating her as a boy and hiding it from her parents. Hard to believe, isn't it? Before long, a confused Sage ran away from home after she was found in a horrific situation in Maryland. A left-wing judge refused to return Sage to her parents because they did not immediately state that their daughter was their son.
Yo, they showing somebody on the screen right now. This girl don't even look like she want to be there. Like she just rolled her eyes. Like this is what I was saying too about that guy that was unalived in Butler, the firefighter. His family was there at the last one, and they looked like they didn't want to be there either. I think they be kidnapping people and forcing them to go to these. I'm just joking, obviously, but ain't no way you see this girl right here and you like she's happy to be there right now. It's just it's no way. Maybe she's nervous. That's that maybe she got stage fright. You know what I'm saying? I'm just going off the body language. The body language look like she being held there against her will. It don't look like she want to be there to me. And I said the same thing when the firefighter family guy, the guy that got unalived in Butler, I said the same thing. So yo, it don't look like these it don't look like they want to be there. I don't know what they doing to get these people there. Maybe they got stage fright or whatever. I don't know. I'm looking at this like she needs to be rescued out of this room right now. I don't know her. Maybe she is. Maybe she is a Trump supporter. Been the Trump supporter. I don't know. It don't seem like it. I don't know.
These people.
You guys look at that clip. Her name was Sage Blair. When the clip start rolling around, look at that clip. You tell me what you think. To me, it don't look like she was too happy to be there. To me.
Amazing. Governor. Boy, oh boy. We're lucky we have a country with people.
Belinda, it looked like it. It looked like her parents forced her to be there. Yeah, that's what it looked like to me. Her mom, especially, it didn't look like her father wanted to be there either. It looked like her mom was the only person that was like happy to be there. I wouldn't even say happy to be there. That's kind of a stretch. It looked like her mom was the only person that looked comfortable being there. But the little girl and her dad, they didn't look like they wanted to be there, to be honest. I don't know. Melania don't look like she want to be there either.
Over the past year, she has had an incredible impact championing AI legislation, advancing.
Good night, my love. Thank you for spending some time with us.
Secure $30 million to launch the Melania Trump Foster Youth to Independence Initiative. It's a tremendous, really a tremendous thing that happened and had a lot of bipartisan support. She gets much better bipartisan support than I do. I get none. She gets a lot. Someday you're going to have to tell me how you did that. and students and educators.
Where does she get bipartisan support? Where?
The presidential AI challenge, keeping America's next generation positioned to succeed and strongly succeed in the future. Tonight, we welcome two young people whose lives reflect the First Lady's impact, Sierra Burns and Everest Nevermont. Thank you both. And Melania, thank you. I know how hard you worked on it. Thank you very much.
Usha Vince look elated. Usha Vince look happy to be there. Why Melania don't look happy to be there? They just showed Usha Vince. She looks incredibly happy. She looked like she's having the time of her life. She pregnant. She the second lady. Things have never been going better for her. You know, Melania does not look as happy.
Tremendous, you know.
Yeah, the hockey team should go. They should have left them in Italy.
This is especially true among young people, and a big part of that had to do with my great friend, Charlie Kirk. Great.
I'm out, y'all. I'm out. I'm about to pull off. I gotta. Oh, Erica Kirk there with the crocodile tail. I gotta go. I can't. I'm sorry. I can't. You know what we could do tomorrow? I'm not. I can't do that. I can't do it. Tomorrow we'll just watch the clips. I can't sit through a long time of this. This is wild. Yeah, they show Erica Kirk with the crocodile tears. I'd much rather be with the People's State of the Union. I'm sorry. I'd much rather be with the People's State of the Union. Donald Trump is a moron, man. And then Erica, he's like my good friend Charlie Kirk. Here go Joy Reid. This is much better for me. This is Representative Pramila Jayapal. I like her, man. She's a firecracker. Thank you, Chronicles. Shout out to you, Chronicles. Appreciate you.
Watch. And yes, our trans kids across this country who are sick and tired of being bullied because it's not trans kids driving up your rent. It is the billionaires doing that. We are standing up for our trans kids across the country.
And it ain't hard to tell.
And of course, the survivors. The survivors who are showing us exactly what courage and resilience looks like.
My official guest for State of the Union is a constituent of mine who is an Epstein survivor, who is in that building right now, showing the strength and the face of courage to be in that building with Donald Trump speaking, because they don't want him to not see them. They are demanding that they be seen, because the survivors of this horrific global sex trafficking ring of Jeffrey Epstein's, the predators and the pedophiles who need to be brought to justice, will be brought to justice because of the courage and the resilience and the voices of these brave survivors.
Facts, facts, facts. Senator survivors, center.
So yes, Donald Trump, we are out here instead of in there, because our State of the Union is strong, because the people of this country are strong, and we will not sit down, shut up, move on, or be silenced. We demand that all the predators, the pedophiles, the grifters, the lawless agents, and you, Donald Trump, be brought to justice.
And you, yeah, him too. Make sure you get
It has been the honor of my life
and you, Donald
to
Trump,
work with real
him.
survivors in every single realm that we're talking about tonight.
Thank you for the
And
friendship,
tonight I
Michael.
have the
Donald Trump, I
honor
appreciate
to
that.
introduce
Go,
a
what's up,
woman
go?
who has been an indispensable part of our Epstein survivor movement, who has been working with the survivors to demand that the United States hold these.
How you doing? Welcome out. I'm watching the People's State of the Union. I tried to watch the State of the Union with Donald Trump. Just it's like it bring my chi down. It bring my energy down. Like I just can't. I can't listen to it. I can't do it for too long. I can take like maybe tomorrow when the clips come out, we'll just watch some of the clips. And but I can't. It's like he's talking about his friend Charlie Kirk, and then they showing Erica Kirk, and she making it seem like she's crying. It's like we months out now, like you should have been crying when you was coming out to the Sparkles. You should have been crying, and you wasn't crying. Now she want to cry months later. Too late.
Lauren Hirsch, who is the co-director of World Without Exploitation. Lauren Hirsch, give it up for her.
Remember the first video on the internet?
Yeah, now she want to cry. It's like not like, you know what I mean? Like you picked the wrong time. Like you should have cried at the funeral, not at the State of the Union. Like she got it backwards.
This is one amazing woman who has stood beside these survivors through
Yeah, Chronicle. They did an alternative State of the Union. Midas Touch and Move On. They did the People's State of the Union. So you got some representatives out there. A few of the survivors wrote letters for the representatives to read, and they got some people, man. We saw that one lady from Minnesota, the Brenda Lewis. She was like I think she was either a teacher or she was on the board of education or something like that, whatever. But she was talking about like how ICE keeps raiding the schools and traumatizing the children, and just the people, man. This is like actually for the people. It don't got nothing to do with Trump and his lies, you know. So that's where I'm at with it. I'm parked here. Every now and then I go check on whatever he's doing because I'm seeing if he like start choking or something. Psych. Let me stop. You know what I mean? But I'm seeing if he start like I want to see if like he do anything. I don't know. I go in there and watch every once in a while, but for the most part, I'm parked right here.
men operating with impunity are officially over. And it has been a wild 6 months. But now we are in a serious moment of reckoning. Every day we're witnessing the untouchables collapse before our eyes. Prince Andrew is no longer a prince. He is no longer shielded by a royal title, and he faces criminal charges. Around the globe, exploiters who once hid behind wealth and influence in institutions are beginning to fall like a giant game of dominoes. We aren't quite seeing that here just yet, but I'm pretty sure I heard you. It's coming. And in this moment, when we're being told and they're being told to move on and there's nothing to see, survivors are doubling down and they are reclaiming their power. They are at the State of the Union tonight and they are facing an administration who has betrayed them time and time again. To every survivor out there who refuses to disappear, you are changing history. Keep speaking your truth because the earth is shaking.
We shaking the earth. Yeah, Chronicles. Yeah, I saw that. They went and raided the Georgia election board, and they got the ballots. And it was Elon Musk the whole time, man. They probably did it in far more places. So, I don't know. They probably just reminded Elon Musk that mutually assured destruction because he's the one that keep bringing up the Epstein files.
So there's one thing that we've always demanded as Americans. We want consistency in the fighters that we have that are in DC. And the next speaker is someone who did that for us when he was in the House. He's doing that for us as a senator. Once upon a time, there was a time when it
Nah, get busy. I'm jumping back and forth. I'd rather listen to the People's State of the Union though. I sat there for like a little bit, a couple minutes, and I don't know. I'm kind of over him. You know what I mean? Like I'm over it, man. He's not even like the real final boss. Like he's just the face. I think we spend too much time like you know like the whole situation is like Trump centered. Well, meanwhile, like they're building all these data centers, and Peter Thiel got real plans to build network states and all this. Donald Trump, Peter Thiel was a grand wizard chess player. Like he's a master at chess, and you could tell like he's making the moves or at least playing a part in it. Donald Trump can't even read, man. I'm tired of focusing on Donald Trump.
DOJ. And yet Senator Schiff says, hell no, I'm not going to do it. Janine Pirro, hell no, too. We have Senator Schiff here tonight. He has a letter, and it's from Alejandro Barranco. He is one of the 3 Marine sons, right? He is a veteran and a son of a landscaper that we saw on video working hard, because only in Trump's America can you be working hard on a Saturday as a landscaper, get chased down by federal agents, and get your ass beaten, right? Only in Trump's America. But Senator...
This Katie Phang speaking, by the way, and go. Yeah, absolutely right. It's showtime. Yeah, that's all he did. He's a showman. He put on the show. And, I'm just, it gets so exhausting, man. He's always in the news. He's always in the headlines. You're always hearing his voice. I need a break from that.
Senator Adam Schiff.
Here comes Adam Schiff. Schiff. What's up, Adam Schiff?
Thank you.
Yeah, it gets so tiring, man. It's like we know exactly what he's gonna say. Yeah, we all on pins and needles. Like, what is the only thing that I'm thinking is he gonna disrespect those women while they're there? That's the only thing that could really like get me upset. There's nothing else that he could say that can make me feel one thing or the other. We know exactly what he's gonna say. Anything outside of showing the victims the utmost respect, anything outside of that, I'm like, we already know, we already know. So
Trump's promises have all been broken. He promised to bring down costs, but inflation is up. He promised to bring back jobs, but manufacturing has fled. He promised to end trade deficits, but they have reached all-time highs. But no failure is more glaring, more significant, or more damning than his failure to bring our country together. In January of 2017, Donald Trump stood just a couple hundred yards from this place and took the oath of office for the first time, swearing to uphold the Constitution. As you recall,
yeah, get busy. That's what I'm saying. I'm starting to notice that been over the past couple days, I've been starting to notice that like whether like to Donald Trump, no publicity is bad publicity. You know what I'm saying? Like this dude is just a moron. We keep treating him like he's an actual like an actual thinking person. Like and it just works to normalize his behavior. I'm not saying that we can't afford to ignore him completely because he is the president, right? So I'm not saying that, but like I don't know. Me personally, I'm tired of just talking about him. I'm tired of listening to him. I'm tired of it, man. I think we could be focused on like far more productive things because when we wasting time thinking about the things they say, and then like one of the speakers that was here was saying earlier, it's like you got Peter Thiel, you got Alex Carr, we got all of these billionaires that are clearly calling the shots. Like you ask Trump, why did you pardon this person? I don't even know who that is. Clearly, he's not calling the shots. He thinks that other countries pays the tariffs. He still thinks that. You see what I'm saying? So like clearly, like there are other people. That's who we should really be focused on because whether we talking about Donald Trump, good or bad, man, they are making a killing. Yeah, you got to disengage from them emotionally. You have to. That's how I've been coming to that understanding just over the past couple days. You know, yeah, he 80 years old. He 80 years old. He's fading fast. We can all see that he's fading fast. You know, um, focusing on like more productive solutions and less on like just being so enraged by things that he's saying and doing. I think is the like it makes it so that you can't even really think straight. You know. Um, So yeah, so I kind of like I turned that off. I check in. He is the president. We got to be aware of the things that he's doing and the things that he's saying to a certain extent. But the way that he's able to like dominate the headlines and keep us all talking about him and thinking about him, and whether you like him or you don't like him, he's always on everybody's mind all over the world. And he's not even the one that's making the decisions. You know, show me Peter Thiel. That's who we should be talking to. We should be debating the people that's behind the scenes, the people that Steve Bannon. That's who we need to be talking to, right? The people that Jeffrey Epstein was talking to and emailing with to make the decisions. You know, um, what Benjamin Netanyahu. That's who we should be talking to because clearly Donald Trump is making decisions on behalf of him. Like Donald Trump is a nobody, man. He just knows how to get attention. That is it. He just knows how to market it well. That's all.
I wish just a few of my colleagues in that building on the other side of the aisle had the same dedication to their jobs, to their oath of office, to the Constitution of the United States. Narcisco Barranco asked his sons to finish the job.
I don't know, Belinda, because they didn't let Stephen Miller get the MAGA makeover.
But he sent me this to read to you.
And they left him looking like that. So I don't think they respect him that much. That they didn't even let him get more hair. Like they let Elon Musk get the hair transplant. You know, they ain't even let Stephen Miller get the hair transplant. So I don't know how much respect they have for him.
Lost its humanity. We can protect our laws without abandoning our values. We are here because America must be better, fairer, safer, and worthy of the people who believe in it. Now, just a few weeks ago, Narciso Barranco thankfully had his deportation case dismissed by a federal judge.
What's up, Sharon Katz? The thing though, I like that Al Green. Al Green is the guy that put out the articles of impeachment. I gotta go though, guys. I gotta go off this phone because this phone is about to die, and I'm too lazy to go grab my charger. Um, I'm on YouTube if you guys want to come over here and kick it. I'll probably be only live for another 10 to 15 minutes. So I'm waiting for Maxwell Frost. After Maxwell Frost goes, I'm about to go to sleep because I'm old and tired. But thank you guys for kicking it with me. I appreciate that. I hope you guys have a good night, and I'll probably take a couple days off and just refresh, and I'll be back at some point. But guys, I just dropped the collection, the late bloomers. So make sure you check out the website. The late bloomers collection just dropped, Rise Again with. So make sure you guys go check that out. Oh, I'm sorry for your loss, Cole. But I'll say I'll catch you guys. If you need to talk, go. You can send me a DM. Thank you for the Go Poppers Chronicles. No problem. Peace.
November, are you ready to throw the bums out? In November, are you ready to defend our democracy? In November, are you ready to push back, to fight back, and to save this country? Let us pick up the tools our founders gave us and let us finish the job. Thank you, and God bless you for being here. Thank you so much. Thank you.
All right. One more time for the senator from the great state, California. We love the Californians, but we now are going to turn to the great state of Illinois, which was one of the earliest cities to see the absolute terrorism being unleashed upon Americans and immigrants alike by ICE, by the secret police being deployed by this regime. And one of the stalwarts in the great state of Illinois who has been fighting for the rights of people, for the humanity of the American people and our immigrant neighbors is one Representative Delia Ramirez. And she is going to be here from the great 3rd District in Illinois. Come on. And she is going to be speaking tonight in honor of Silverio, Keith, Renee, Alex, Linda, Ruben, and the 38 lives that we have lost at the hands of DHS, including Illinois resident Nenko Ganchev. Please give it up for Representative Delia Ramirez.
Thank you, Joy.
Folks, in 5 months, you're going to be really hot. Just remember that, okay? I'm trying to remind myself of that. Well, hi, everyone. Buenas noches.
Buenas noches, Delia.
As you heard, I'm la congresista Delia Catalina Ramírez.
Delia
And
Catalina
soy la
Ramirez.
hija orgullosa de padres guatemaltecos, ciudadana de nacimiento por derecho y representante del Distrito 3, una comunidad que está en la calle luchando contra los fascistas todos los días. Yes, I said it in Spanish.
I got
Because
you,
even
though.
as the
I'm with
fascists
you. I'm
seek
with
to
you. I'm
diminish,
right
to
here.
divide,
I
and
get it. I
dehumanize
got it.
us, we must remain powerful and defiant to fascists. You know, I talk a lot about the authoritarian playbook and how this administration casts the other as enemies, weaponize fear, perpetrate corruption, and reward cruelty and abuse executive power. But tonight, I want to talk to you about the Trump and his administration and their abuse. They're abusing the power of government to prosecute dissent. They're abusing immigration enforcement to terrorize us. They're abusing detention to punish our neighbors. They're abusing the military to occupy our cities. They're abusing federal resources to enrich their donors, their campaign donors. They're abusing the justice system to silence survivors, discredit victims, and avoid accountability. We need to see that everything that Donald Trump and his cronies are doing are interconnected abuse intended to intimidate us, to control us, and to try to destroy us. They want us small and they want us silent. And they've tried to silence us by chokeholds, by full body restraints, by criminal charges, by care withheld, by reckless chases, by people disappeared and even executed. But let me tell you, today in that gallery, my seat is empty, representing more than the 40 lives we have lost to the violence of the Trump administration, who want our resources, our freedoms, our lives to advance their imperialistic, fascist, authoritarian agendas. But here's the thing. They can try to persecute us. They're going to try to terrorize us, punish us, occupy, and discredit us. But they will never, ever silence us. Am I right? because el pueblo unido jamás será vencido. We are the legacy of the leaders who look at abusers in the eyes and refuse to be silent, and we fight back. So tonight, I'm calling us to remember who we are. We are being targeted by a regime that wants to break our resistance, make an example of us, because in fact, we are strong, we are powerful, and we are unafraid. We persist and we lift our voices. We defy their control because our resistance defies the state of the union. And here I can tell you that the state of the resistance is strong.
We wish to enter the tourney. I don't have much, but what should I do?
Silently while the abuser-in-chief lies, manipulates, and gaslights the American people. I stand with el pueblo, with the people, defiantly speaking the names of Silverio, Keith, Renee, Alex, Linda, Ruben, and the 38 people who have died in ICE detention since the start of 2025. I'm talking about Lourdes, Eber, Victor, Paradi, Luis, Geraldo, Luis, Nenko, Delvin, Far, Jean, Shiraz, Pete, Francisco, Kai, Gabriel, Hassan, Leo, Miguel, Hubin, Norlan, Ismael, Santos, Oscar, Lorenzo, Chu Phang. My fingers, one moment.
It's cold outside. That's a fact.
Tien, Isidro, Johnny, Jesus, Abelardo, Marie, Non, Brian, Juan, Mesquim, Sarahwed, and Henry. Tonight, I ask you to be as loud as you can and say with me, we demand justice. Say it with me. We demand justice. We demand justice. And that is why we will melt ICE and dismantle the Department of Homeland Security. We will defend our democracy from authoritarians, fascists, and those who believe it's for sale. We will uphold our shared humanity from Chicago to Palestine to Congo. And that is just the beginning, because we're going to build a future where we're free from being priced out, defrauded, displaced, or expelled. A future where we're free from exploitation, trafficking, deportation, detention, occupation, and genocide. A free day from economic exploitation, poverty, slavery, income inequality, wage abuse, discrimination, and intimidation. A day where we are free from the oppression and the inequity that have defined our community's experience of being American. So my ask for you today, America, neighbors, constituents, is that we demand more together. A future in which our rights and freedoms mean working people have every single thing they need to thrive. And are we ready for that kind of world? Are we ready for that kind of America? Are we going to fight like hell for it? Because listen to me, and listen to me loud and clear. We have the power to organize, to build coalition, to practice solidarity, to shift the narrative, and to take care of one another, because we're already doing it together in the people's state of the union. Because the people and the power of the people is greater than the weapons that they would wield against us. So together, juntos, we will create a more just, a more peaceful, and loving world. And the key is together, juntos, let's go.
Let's go. Let's go. I like that. Let's go. I like that. That was fired up. All right. I'm gonna head out. I know that no one is gonna watch 3 hours of this live, so it really does not make any sense to do an outro. I will say this though, if people from the future ever come across this live stream, combing through data to try to figure out what happened, I don't know how this plays out, but I will say we gave it all we had. So shout out to y'all. Keep on keeping